Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are in for a treat today because we're talking about one of my most favorite topics. I'm going to show you how to easily double your coaching fees and attract dream to work with clients who gladly pay on the spot. My name is Desiree Stafford, and I am so happy to have you join me today. So, this is for you if you're a coach, you're a mentor, you're a healer, or a transformational leader who is fed up with not making the money you know you deserve by now, okay? This is also for you if you are done with signing the wrong clients just to pay the bills, and you are ready to play a much bigger game. If that's you, my dear, are certainly in the right place. Now, here's what you need to know. A curse, okay? So if you have virgin ears, you might want to decide whether you need to jump off the call or not, right? I also happen to talk fast. You're going to have to do your best to keep up with me, okay? And I don't do fluff. I am very direct, very straightforward, no fluff stuff going on here, all right? So I need to know, is that cool with you, all right? If it's cool with you, hang on with me, right? If it's not cool with you, no love lost, just hop off the line now, cool? All right, because I don't want anybody sending me any emails after this telling me that I have, a nasty mouth. Someone said that to me the other day. I was like, really? Okay, then. Because I really get passionate about what I'm sharing with you, and I can't share everything I need to share with you. I can't be as transparent as I need to be with you if I am constantly worrying about filtering myself, right? So I want to give you all this information up front so you can make a best decision as to whether or not this training is going to be for you. Cool? All right, so let's get on with it. My promise to you is that I'm going to show you how to charge more and attract awesome clients who give you their Visa, their credit card on the spot. Cool? All right, so when you stay with me until the end, I'm going to show you how to get handed a customized plan to double your fees, all right? And when I say a customized plan to double your fees, this is going to be a workable plan, meaning it's going to be a plan that's not only going to allow you to double your fees, but actually receive that money. Cool? All right, so here we go. I am going to ask for your full undivided attention. That means turn off your cell phones. Turn off Facebook, okay? The world is not going to stop spinning. Things will carry on if you're not on Facebook, all right? Just for, about an hour or so. Because if you are serious about taking your business to a whole nother level faster than you can renew your passport, then what you are about to discover in the next 60 minutes could literally change your life. I am dead serious, okay? So, why should you care about me? Who am I and why should you care about what I have to say, right? Well, I'm an Amazon bestselling author. I also show high-achieving women how to consistently attract $3,000 to $25,000 clients while marketing as little as 60 minutes per day. Many of my clients work on average 3 to 4 days a week, all right? And that includes marketing and service delivery. All right. I took my first business to 6 figures in less than 12 months, and I helped grow my third business to multiple 7 figures in 2 years. All right. Now, I have privately coached dozens of other coaches, mentors, CEOs, executives, and solopreneurs. And my trainings have benefited hundreds of transformational leaders. I also happen to run a multiple 6-figure freedom-based coaching business with a tiny team. It's myself, Lily. She's my adorable mini pincher. She's over there snoring on the couch. My laptop, and one very part-time assistant. Now, I share that with you because so many people think that to get to the level that you want to get to income-wise in your business, that you have to have this massive team. You've got to be running these massive campaigns, doing exhausting launches, like all kinds of drama that you really don't have to have. All right? So I don't have any of that stuff. I also have 8-figure mentors who don't have any of that stuff. So it's working for me. It's working for them. It can definitely work for you. Cool. Now, as you can see, I've experienced, some success in my life. I'm really proud of where I am right now. But I will also tell you that things haven't always been a cakewalk for me. There was a time when I nearly lost everything. I can remember almost as if it was yesterday, sitting down at my desk, staring at the overdrawn bank account on my computer screen. okay? And I was literally 28 days away from foreclosure. This is not a, rags to riches story. This is my real shit. Like, this is what I went through. All right. And I was scared. No, in fact, I was terrified because I knew that if something didn't change fast, I was about to lose my home and my dream. Right. And, I didn't know what to do. I'll be frank with you. I had no idea what to do because I had already maxed out all of my credit cards. I had wiped out my savings, my retirement funds, everything I had, investing in program after program, trying to figure out how to make my coaching business work. Now, you can imagine how embarrassed I was because I had all of the previous successes in my other businesses. And yet I came online and I was struggling. I was floundering. And I did everything that the guru said would work. I did guest interview series to build my list and my credibility. I did YouTube videos, and I remember stressing myself out, trying to create the content and then editing the videos. And then I was doing live streaming because the guru said that would work. I was also guest blogging because the guru said that would work, right? And yet I was still struggling to book clients who could actually afford to pay me. And I felt overwhelmed. And I was exhausted, and now here I was, broke, right? And if you can imagine what that feels like, I was literally at a fork in the road. And I had to decide for myself, do I listen to the naysayers? Were my friends and my family right? Was it really time to go out and get a real job? Or do I just hire somebody to help me sort this shit out once and for all, because clearly me trying to do it on my own wasn't working, right? That was where I was, and that was the kind of decision that I was facing. And I chose the second option. I decided to hire a new mentor. And, you know how they say, you make the leap and then the net appears. Well, that's exactly what happened, because I didn't know where the money was going to come from, but I said yes to my mentor anyway, regardless of my circumstances. And then I found the money to hire her that same week. All right. Now, I'll be honest with you. Part of me felt like it was the craziest thing I could do. Right. I was like, what the fuck? Like, is this the right decision to make at this time? Because I'm already struggling and I've got a lot of pressure, right? If I don't get this handled, I'm going to lose my house. So there was a part of me that felt like I was being irresponsible. But deep down, I knew that if I didn't take that risk, I was going to wind up losing everything. I knew that. And I'll tell you this, it turned out to be like making the decision, hiring my mentor turned out to be the best decision, not just for my business, but for my life. Because within 30 days, I doubled my fees. I signed the most amazing client, and get this, I did this with ease. I actually started marketing way less than I was marketing before, and I signed up brand new clients with ease. And I booked over $30,000. I made $20,000 in cash that month, and I was able to save my home. And now I have the peace of mind to do things like travel, right? The things that I wanted to do that I wasn't able to do before because I was always stressed about money. I was always stressed out about how to make my business work. And what you see on the screen right now are pictures of me from a 6-week trip that I spent in Europe. I was in Barcelona. I was in the Amalfi Coast. I went to the Italian Riviera, the French Riviera. It was awesome. It was amazing. And I got to work and play just with my laptop and an internet connection, 6 weeks in Europe. Right? And I know many of you want to be able to have that kind of freedom for yourself as well. And what you're going to learn here today are the exact steps that I took to create that experience for myself so that you know how you can do the same for yourself in your business. All right. Now, what's important to know that I had an amazing time, right? But my clients are having amazing results just like I am, which is why I'm so confident that what I'm going to share with you today will actually work for you as well. This is one of my clients who went literally from zero. So no money in her business bank account, no clients at the time. She had a business in the past and she had put it aside, and then she came back. So she was basically starting from scratch when she hired me. She had no list, none of that stuff. And she went from $0 to $10,000 in cash in 30 days without a list, without launches, and without any paid ads. All right. And I wanted you to see this because I want you to know that no matter where you are right now, you can turn things around really quickly. All right. You can turn things around really quickly. So I do also need you to know that results are not typical. You've got to understand that the average person who attends any training gets 0 results because they don't implement what they learn. Now, there's something that tells me, though, that you are not average, right? I typically do not attract average people. I attract people who are high achievers, overachievers even, right? So I know that you're going to take what you get here today and you're going to apply it and you're going to get results. However, I am happy to share with you for free exactly what's working for my clients and also for me. All right. And I need you to understand that this is not for you if you are into the whole get rich quick type of thing, right? We're going to talk about how you can make money quickly. 30 days is, pretty fast. But it's not going to last long term if you're only in it for the money. I love making money. My clients love making money, but we're in this for the long haul. Okay. If you're looking for a work at home or a business opportunity, or you're into MLM, this is not for you. If you are a daydreamer, meaning you're someone who has these grandiose ideas, but you have 0 intention of moving your feet or getting your hands dirty, you will not benefit from this training. Okay. This is for you, however, if you are a powerhouse, so you're a force to be reckoned with, right? And you're in the business of transformation. Okay, so that means you're either a coach, you're a mentor, you're a healer, or something like that. You have a service-based business that provides real value and transformation for people, whether it's in their businesses, whether it's with their finances, whether it's with their health, their relationships, whatever the case may be. Okay, and you are ready to succeed at a whole nother level without burning yourself out. If that is you, then you are definitely in the right spot. Cool? All right. So here's what we're going to cover today. You're going to learn the #1 secret to attracting clients who feel compelled to hire you no matter the price. This is for you if you are tired of hearing, I can't afford it, or I need to think about it. All right. We're also going to cover how my clients sell and deliver $5,000 to $25,000 programs with integrity. This works even if you're not a business coach. So many people think that you have to be a business coach. You do not. All right. This will also work for you if no one has heard of you before. All right. And last but not least, I'm going to share with you the simple 60-minute per day marketing plan that I use to scale my business to 70K months. And you can do the same. I'm going to show you how you can do the same. And you're going to love this if you're done with the guaranteed burnout strategies that the gurus have been peddling to the masses. Okay. All right. So #1, the secret to attracting clients who feel compelled to hire you no matter the price. Let me see. Are you someone who's currently right now tolerating picture perfect discovery sessions that take a wrong turn with I'd love to, but? Okay. Maybe you're putting up with prospects who say yes and they disappear when it's time to sign the contract. Or perhaps you've got a ton of potential clients who will convince you that they need to speak with their husband or their wife, their dog, or their angels before they make a decision to hire you. Or maybe people love your content. They're always liking it. They're always loving it, but yet they can't afford to buy from you, and then they hire your competitor. Okay? If you're experiencing any of this, if you're still putting up with any of this, then what I'm about to share with you will blow your mind. All right? #1, this is a big problem for you. If you're in this situation right now, it's a big problem because it erodes your confidence, which means it undermines your ability to sell. Huge problem, right? If you're in business and you got to make cash, you need to be able to sell. All right. It often puts you in a position of needing to sign any client just to have money coming in. Right? That sucks. And it's like no matter what you do or you don't do, you feel stuck. Right? I know that you've already tried positioning yourself as an authority. Everyone and their mother is trying to do that, right? So what you're trying to do in a sense is really build your credibility so that you can charge more. I get it. You have the right idea because proper positioning will overcome those pesky objections and excuses. But if you're like most coaches, you're going about it the hard way, right? So positioning is the right thing to do, but if you're like most people out there, you're doing it the hard way, right? And so you're likely frustrating yourself by trying to come up with valuable content to post 3 to 5 times per day. I remember getting that advice from my coach back in the day. You got to post 3 to 5 times a day. Or maybe you're networking in groups or forums, even though you can't stand small talk. I know for me, I hate small talk. It's like, I don't know. I can't stand it. And I would force myself to do that because that's what people told me I had to do. They said, you got to build relationships. You got to do all of this stuff. Right? And it just didn't feel good to me. And so I was resisting it. And so obviously I wasn't getting results, right? Perhaps you've invested in expensive branding. Maybe you've written a book, or you've been focusing on building your audience or growing your list, right? These are some of the things that many of you are doing right now because that's what the gurus tell you you're supposed to do in order to get results. All of those strategies, I can tell you right now, are a complete waste of your time and money. And you're going to likely burn yourself out before you ever make the impact that you're here to make. Now, none of those strategies are inherently wrong. I need to be clear about that. They're not wrong. They're just the harder way to go about doing things because everyone and their mother is using those exact same tactics, which means your potential clients see you either as a peer. So this is when they see you as just another. So you're just another coach, you're just another mentor, you're just another healer, right? Or they see you as what I call a likable educator. So this means they are liking your content, right? So they'll show up and they'll like your post, they'll comment on your post. Maybe they'll come to your webinars and they'll, send you all of these emails telling you how much they love your webinars, or maybe they'll watch your live streams and they'll love your live streams, but they don't take that next step of hiring you. And that's what we need them to do so that you make money, you stay in business, and they also get the transformation that they need to get, right? So wouldn't you rather become the authority that your ideal clients feel compelled to buy from? I like to call this the highly paid powerhouse, right? So instead of being that likable educator where they just like your stuff, so they get that you're an authority, they get you know what you're talking about, right? But they're not taking that extra step. Wouldn't you rather to push it, like position yourself as the authority, the one that they actually feel compelled to buy from, right? The key to doing this is positioning yourself from the inside out. So remember what we just talked about, writing the book and building your audience and building the list and all this stuff. That's all the external way of trying to position yourself as an authority. And it doesn't work long term, right? Instead, you want to position yourself from the inside out. It's the easiest way, and it is the fastest way, okay? It's frankly the number one secret to attracting clients who feel compelled to hire you, no matter the price, right? So that means it doesn't matter if your competitors are charging less, they will feel compelled to buy from you, and they will buy from you, all right? So let's get clear on what positioning is before we go on. All right. Positioning really is about influencing a client's perception of you and your services. So the goal of positioning yourself is to occupy a clear, unique space in the mind of your ideal clients. All right. That is the goal. And it means that everything stems from you. Everything stems from you, who you're being. All right. That means the right program, the right price, the right clients all start with you. So now let's talk about how my clients are selling and delivering $5,000 to $25,000 programs with integrity, okay? Because this all ties into the positioning piece. Now, before we get there, I want to see if this is you. Would you love to charge more, but you don't have a clue what you could sell for $5,000, $10,000, or $20,000, right? Or maybe you're secretly wondering who will pay you that much. Or maybe deep down, you're not sure if you can deliver at a higher price point, right? So maybe you're still undercharging because you're like, I don't know if I can actually deliver if I raise my fees. Or maybe you're still second guessing yourself because of that client who didn't get the results way back when, right? Okay, so the problem with this, if that's you, if you recognize yourself in any of those scenarios, the problem is that while you're still wondering and worrying about whether you're good enough, right, your ideal clients are receiving inferior service from your competitors. Meanwhile, your bank account is on life support, you're still working with clients you know you've outgrown, and your passport hasn't had a new stamp in ages, okay? How many times have you found yourself in a situation where you ended up lowering your fees just to cover the bills? How many times have you done that? And then you end up with clients who either drain your energy, they don't do the work, or they often can't or won't pay you, right? Question is, how much longer can you tolerate repeating that cycle? How much longer are you going to put up with it? I can tell you I faced the exact same dilemma before I doubled and then 10x'd my fees. I was exactly where you are, all right? And I've helped my clients overcome their fears of charging more and finally break through the cycle as well, all right? So here's what I want you to consider. If right now you're thinking to yourself, who's going to pay you that much? I want you to imagine that you've been in pain for months or years and you finally found a doctor who had the cure. Would you want it? Of course you would, right? Of course you would. What would getting out of pain be worth to you? You have been suffering an excruciating pain for months or years. What would it be worth to you to get out of that pain, right? I really want you to think about that, because I'm sure it will be priceless to you, right? To put an end to your suffering would be priceless. It's the same thing with your clients, right? I want you to see yourself as the doctor. You're the one with the solution. You're the one who can help them get out of this massive pain that they have been suffering with for months or years, right? Wouldn't it be priceless for them as well? It's priceless, okay? So you need to start letting go of that, who's going to pay me that much, right? Remove yourself and start focusing on the fact that your clients are in pain and you've got the solution to help them get out of it, right? Now, if you're worrying about whether or not you can deliver, I want you to think of this. You would not possess the desire to serve at a higher level if you didn't have the ability to deliver. You just wouldn't. You have everything inside of you already to be able to deliver at a higher price point, right? Now, that said, you have to make sure that you're selling only what's in your zone of genius, not just what you think will sell. Now, this is massive, 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 because there's a huge epidemic in the coaching and consulting industry, right? There are too many people out here selling shit that is not in their zone of genius, because some coach, some mentor way back when told them that's what they need to be selling. And they're not in alignment. And so they're not fulfilled. And that creates all kinds of problems. All right? So you've got to make sure that you're selling, what's within your zone of genius. And I know it can be scary when you got to pay the bills, but you have to work through this, right? And I can help you work through this. I'm actually going to show you in a second. It's really important, right? Because if the truth is, I know if you've been told that you can't sell XYZ, the truth is you can. You just have to learn how to package and position it the right way, right? You can sell anything. So if you're second guessing yourself because some client didn't get a result way back when, I want you to really consider the fact that clients are responsible for their own results. It's a partnership, right? It's a partnership. You have to create the conditions for your clients to succeed. Your clients actually have to show up and do the work, right? And the reality is some will do the work and others won't. Now, I will give you a hint here. Your fee helps hold your clients accountable, okay? Because money gets people's attention. When people have more skin in the game, they do the work, right? I remember a while ago, I was working with two spiritual coaches at the same time. I was their client, right? And I remember one of them was charging me $65 an hour. The other was charging me $300 an hour. The one who was charging me $65 an hour, I would blow off her appointments. I would cancel at the last minute. I would reschedule. Like, I just didn't take it seriously. You bet your bottom dollar that the one who was charging me $300, I never missed an appointment, never rescheduled. I showed up on time and I did the work, right? Because that money had my attention. I took it way more seriously. And the same is true for your clients. Think of it, your own situations. You know, when you've had more money on the line, when you've had more skin in the game, you showed up, right? Same is true for your clients. So you have to understand that your fee is a part of their accountability. Okay? All right. So now let's get to the basics of how to charge more and actually get it. Step one, you need to decommoditize yourself. The first part of doing that is you need to identify your unique combination of gifts, skills, and talents. I call this your magic. You can also refer to this as your zone of genius. Okay? This is vital. All right? You need to know what your unique combination of gifts, skills, and talents are. This is how you really separate yourself from any other, mindset coach, from any other relationship coach, from any other business mentor, from any other health coach, whatever it is that you do, right? You've got to understand what makes you unique. You also need to get clear on the exact client you were born to serve. This is crucial, all right? No matter how good you are at what you do, you are not here to help everyone. You cannot. The reality is you're going to work with specific clients who are going to get amazing results because they've worked with you. And then there are going to be some other clients who are not going to get great results because they've worked with you. This is why it's very important that you know exactly who the clients are that you were born to serve, okay? And this is a real big part of the work that I help my clients through, because this makes all the difference, right? Client selection is critical. All right. You also want to then create a front-end program that solves a specific burning problem for your ideal clients faster and easier than they could do on their own. All right? You want to make sure that your program solves a specific burning problem. Many of you will say, well, my program helps my clients become more confident or feel more empowered. Fantastic. But it needs to be in service to a specific end result. It needs to solve a specific problem that's keeping them up at night. Otherwise, they're not going to pay you the big bucks, right? So these are some of the things that you really need to understand in order to decommoditize yourself, which is step one of being able to charge more and get it, okay? Step two, you want to be able to charge based on value, not time or effort. Time and effort are arbitrary factors, all right? Your clients only care about their results. That's it. That means in order for you to charge more with integrity, you just need to change your perception of your value, because I know many of you, especially if you're a high achiever or overachiever, your value is associated with how much time you put into something or how hard you've worked to achieve it, right? That's not what counts in this game. It's not what counts. So instead of focusing on time and effort, I want you to consider questions like, what is it costing your clients to stay where they are right now? You need to understand that, right? You also need to understand what happens in the future if nothing changes. So if your clients don't make a change, if they do not invest with you to get the transformation, what happens then, right? You also need to understand what gets to happen for them when they do decide to work with you, right? These are the things that you need to focus on. These are the types of questions that you need to answer to really be able to stand in your value, okay? All right. Step three is you want to be able to choose a business model that's aligned with your desired lifestyle. Now, this is important, right? Yes, we're talking about charging higher fees, but you also need to make sure that you are offering services that are, not going to cause you to feel stressed or burnt out when you're delivering them, right? So you need a business model that is going to be aligned with your desired lifestyle. And if you decide to scale your business at some point, you need to make sure that the business model is not going to burn you out, right? So here are a couple of different options for the way that you can deliver your services, right, at those higher price points. So you can offer VIP days. You can offer 90-day one-on-one programs, Okay. You can also offer 6 to 8 week group programs. You can offer 12-month masterminds. You can offer 3-day live events, right? These are just a sampling of the different options that you have that you'll be able to use to deliver your services. Okay. Now, here's what I want you to know. Whether you're charging at the $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 level, okay, you're only a few sales away from adding 6 figures or more to your business this year. You're like only a couple of sales away, all right? So in less than 12 months, you can add 6 figures or more to your business, all right? And you can do it without launches, complex sales funnels, a big ass list, a fancy website, or any of those kind of things that most people tell you that you need, all right? Because, you know, let's do some math here. Let's do it this way. Let's do math. Hopefully you're taking notes so you have paper and pen next to you. I want you to think about this for a second. If you were charging at the $5,000 level, how many sales do you think you need in the next couple of months in order to bring in $100,000? Do the math. So basically you're taking $100,000 and you're dividing it by 5,000. How many sales is that? It's 20, right? Okay. So let's say you wanted to add $250,000 to your business in the next couple of months. How many sales at the $10,000 level? 25. Okay. Let's say you're stretching it. You're going for the $500,000 level. How many sales do you need to make at $25,000 per sale? It's another 20 sales. That's it. Okay. And the reason I say that is because depending upon the type of programs that you're offering, you may simply be, bringing some clients in and then re-enrolling them within the next couple of months. So you don't need, I didn't say clients, I said sales, right? Because let's say, for example, you bring a client into a VIP day, they love the VIP day, then you can re-enroll them into your 90-day program, right? So we're counting sales here, not clients, because that's one client who enrolled in 2 different programs. Make sense? Okay. So simple to get to your goal, but you just have to be able to see it for what it is. Okay. All right. So here is one of my clients who is a relationship coach. She went from 3 clients to 15 clients and made more money in 3 months than she made all of last year. And now she's charging $5,000 per client. Now, the reason I wanted to share her testimonial with you is because, not her testimonial, but just share with you the conversation we were having, about where she is in her business, is because this particular client was struggling for a really long time. Before she worked with me, booking discovery sessions was like pulling teeth. Okay. And in a very short amount of time, she started making sales like crazy. And you can see where I underline the days, because we went from a Friday, don't mind the time, because she's in a different country. Okay. But I went from Friday. She had signed a client, and then 3 weeks later, the client said that she wanted to pay in full, like pay the balance in full. And then that Tuesday, so just a few days later, she sold another package. And then the following day, she booked the discovery session out of nowhere. And this has been now her track record, where discovery sessions are just showing up out of nowhere. All right. And one of the things that I love about, this particular client and her experience is that now she loves her work again. She was at a point where she had lost the passion for her business because it just didn't seem like it was working. She had invested in many other high-end programs before she came to work with me. She did everything she thought she would do. She was, or thought she was supposed to do. She was spending money on ads. She was, trying to like get her freebie out in people's hands, and none of that was working. None of that was bringing her in the clients that she wanted, right? And now here she is, selling high-end packages with ease in a relationship niche. So she's not a business coach. And now she actually raised her fees. So this is what's possible for you, right? This is what's possible for you. And you don't have to drive yourself crazy to get yourself there. All right. Here's another client of mine. We've only been working together for a couple of weeks. And, one of the things that I love about her is, and you can see it in this message, she's talking about the expansion crab, because the day before she celebrated a $17,500 day, she was freaked out. she was going through some stuff like personally, and then, on top of that, trying to figure out, how to bring in the sales that she wanted to bring in her business. And, so we had to work on helping her calm down, right? But we did that. And the next day she celebrated over $17,000 while she was on vacation, right? And mind you, after only 4 weeks of working together, she celebrated her highest cash month ever. And just a week later, she welcomed a $17,000 day, right? So this is what gets to happen for my peeps, right? And this is the same stuff that can happen for you. And I love, you see what I underlined here in red? What she said was both were so easy. I love that because it really is easy. I know it may not feel like it's easy for you right now if you've been struggling to attract high-paying clients, but it doesn't have to be a struggle, right? It doesn't have to be. I show my clients how to make this process so friggin' simple that they say to me that it was easy. Cool? All right. So now let's talk about the simple 60 minutes per day marketing plan I use to scale my business to $70,000 months and how you could do the same. All right. So I've kind of given some of this away, I think, but we'll keep going. All right. Let me ask you this before I get into my plan and how I did it. Have you ever felt exhausted from launches? I'd just stay away from launches. Okay. Maybe running challenges, live streaming day in and day out, hosting dozens of webinars, blogging your brains out, networking if that's not what you want to do. All right? Have you ever found yourself exhausted from doing all of those things in your business? If so, then your business probably feels like a job, right? Doesn't really feel like you have the freedom that you wanted. You certainly don't have the fulfillment, and you're not having the fun, right? And you and I both know that if you don't figure out how to fix this now, you're either going to burn yourself out or lose your passion. And what could be worse than that, right? The problem is you don't know what to do, right? Because you're worried, and rightfully so, that if you stop working so hard, you won't make any money. I totally get it. Okay. Most coaches have been led to believe that you have to become a content machine to attract high-paying clients consistently. Now, I have a huge problem with that because I never wanted to be a content machine, but yet I did the same thing that you're doing right now because that's what everyone said you had to do. But what I really want to do is serve my clients. I love, love, love my work. I love serving my clients, right? I put out content. I enjoy putting out content, but there's a limit to that shit, okay? So the truth is less is more. This should take a huge weight off of your shoulder, right? Because if you've been stressing yourself out, exhausting yourself, trying to produce all this content, please know that less really is more, okay? Now, you could keep following the slow and hard guru model of, pushing all this content out there, or I could show you a fast and easy way, all right? My guess is you want the fast and easy way, right? Okay, cool. So I want you to imagine what it would be like if one post could replace 5. So if you're like me, or like how I used to be, and you're right now posting 3 to 5 times a day, what if one post could replace 5 in a day? How awesome would that be, right? Or one live stream a week could fill your calendar with qualified discovery sessions. Qualified is the key word, all right? Or one webinar could generate your income for the entire month. How friggin' cool would that be, right? All right, so that's precisely how things go down in my world, all right? The 60 minutes per day marketing plan I use to scale my business to 70K months looks like this, all right? You ready? You ready? You ready? All right. 5 posts per week. So I typically post once a day. That's typically what I do. I do 1 live stream a week, just the one. I could do more, but I don't have to. And I have 1 webinar that I do every week. And I do run ads, and my ad campaign is running at $15 to $30 per day. So it's not a massive campaign. It's a little tiny campaign, okay? Little tiny campaign. This gives me the time and the energy to serve my clients at the highest level. It also allows me to be present with my family. How many times have you been with your family, the people that you love, but you can't even really be present with them because you're worried about your business? You're worried about where the hell the next sale is going to come from, right? That doesn't happen for me anymore. I also get to travel. I just shared with you earlier how I spent 6 weeks in Europe, right? I actually just came back from a trip last weekend as well. And I get to do whatever else I desire to do, right? Because not only do I have the time and the money, but I also have the peace of mind to do it, okay? So let's talk about how to make this work, right? Because it's more than just, the 5 posts and the 1 webinar and the 1 live stream, right? You've got to understand how to make it work. So step 1 is what I call the love me, respect me, or leave me alone factor, all right? So I want you to forget what the fuck you've heard about the know, like, and trust factor. I cannot even tolerate that phrase, all right? Because that just makes you vanilla, bland, boring like everyone else. One of the things that I found when people are trying to, follow this whole know, like, and trust factor, what typically ends up happening is that you twist yourself into a pretzel trying to be what everybody else wants you to be. You're showing up in your marketing like what you think other people want you to be. You're afraid to say what you need to say because you're worried what they're going to think of you. And if they think negatively of you, they're not going to like you, that you're not going to make the sale. It's bullshit, right? So stop it. Okay. And honestly, it's what everybody else is doing. So you're not going to stand out if you're doing what everybody else is doing. The love me, respect me, or leave me alone factor is actually how you fascinate your ideal peeps and repel the time wasters. Now this is important. You don't want lukewarm prospects because those are the people who they always got to think about it. They're not sure, blah, 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 right? You want people who fucking love you, people who've made the decision before they even got on your discovery session that they want to hire you, right? Do you want people who are going to respect you because they're going to show up and do the work and they're going to pay you on time? Or you just want them to leave you alone? And this is critical. Remember what I said earlier about you're not here to work with everybody. You're not, right? So the people who don't resonate with you, you need to know that up front you want to be repelling those people, okay? And the reason why you want to repel them is, yes, you want to avoid spending time with people who are going to waste your time, but you also want to repel them because you want them to go out and find the coach or mentor who is right for them, right? So this is imperative. It's imperative that you do this. It's going to require you to buck up, right? It's going to require you to woman up here and drop the filters. You're going to have to quit going for nice and acceptable, and you're going to have to unapologetically own your voice so that you can command attention and become that highly paid powerhouse that we talked about earlier, right? That's step 1. Step 2, you want to skip the how-tos. For the love of everything holy, stop with the how-tos, okay? So when I say how-tos, I mean, the top 10 lists or, how to do X, Y, Z. Everybody's doing that shit. Anyone can teach that. Anyone can teach that, all right? Low-end buyers are price conscious, and they're the ones who like the how-tos. They're the ones who crave more and more information before they slowly come to a decision about who they're going to hire, right? You don't want them. You don't even want your marketing to resonate with them, okay? You want to speak directly to high-end buyers who are value conscious. They are ready for transformation and they want it now. So your content needs to answer questions like why you and why now, okay? Step 3, you need to master the art of selling without selling. This is not about being afraid of sales. I love sales, okay? But this is about learning how to sell without selling, which means you have to know how to trigger desire for your program even without a call to action. You know how there's all of these Facebook groups now that won't let you promote and all this bullshit, right? You don't need to have a call to action in order for people to read your post, say, oh my God, I've got to work with her, and land themselves in your inbox, right? Your private message or direct message, whatever you want to call it, right? Or have them find your website and apply for a session with you. This is the kind of stuff that happens for me on a weekly basis. It also happens for my clients on a weekly basis, okay? Now, it's important that you master this because it also changes the dynamic of the entire sales process, and it puts you in a position of being a chooser, not a convincer. And that's what you want. You want to be able to cherry pick the best clients. You don't want to feel needy or desperate and feel like you have to convince someone to hire you. It is not going to go well for you or for the client, right? Okay. So, are you enjoying this training so far, right? Let me know. Are you guys enjoying this training so far? Oprah says yes, so I'm gonna assume that you're enjoying it too, all right? So, here's what we've covered so far. Let's do a quick recap. Number one, we talked about the number one secret to attracting clients who feel compelled to hire you no matter the price. And I said that really comes down to learning how to position yourself from the inside out, because everything stems from you, right? We also talked about how my clients sell and deliver $5,000 to $25,000 programs with integrity. And I shared with you that this can work for you even if you're not a business coach. Right? I mean, I've had clients. I had one client, JC. She was a book writing coach. She went from $4,000 months to her first $20,000 sale within a couple of weeks. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that can happen for you. The client that I shared with you earlier, who had a $17,500 day, well, she just created her $20,000 program. Okay, so this stuff can happen for you really, really quickly. All right. I also shared with you my simple 60-minute per day marketing plan that I use to scale my business to 70K months. And you saw how simple it was. You saw how simple it was, right? I'm not running around, pulling my hair out, trying to figure out what the hell to post all damn day long, right? It was 5 posts a week on average, 1 live stream a week and 1 webinar a week. That's it. That's all I do. Okay? So if that's what you want, if you want it to be easy, that's how you can make it easy for yourself. Cool? All right. So who wants to take things to a whole nother level? If you do, you got to do some work here. I want you to type "I'm ready" into the Q&A box. I think it says "send me love." I don't know if it says Q&A, but type it in. And while you're doing that, let me get over to my email, because that is how these messages come in. And just type "I'm ready." Because if you're not ready, I know this stuff. Okay. Oh, wait a minute here. Catherine says I'm ready. Okay, cool. Lori says I'm ready. Awesome. Maria says I'm ready. Okay. Janice says hell yes. Sarah says I'm ready. Okay. All right. Pam says I'm ready. All right. Awesome. So you guys are ready. Cool. You have 2 options here. Okay. Number one, you can take the information that I shared with you today, and you can try to implement this on your own, okay? Many folks have done that. Many folks come to trainings like this, and they wind up, in a situation where they feel lost. They end up feeling confused. Sometimes they become unsure. They get unclear about what to do next. And then what happens? Doubt starts to creep in. And then the next thing they know, they have all this great information, yet 3 months, 6 months down the line, they look up and nothing has changed. Their business is exactly where they were before. They're still not making the kind of money that they want. So they're not able to provide for themselves and their families in the way that they desire. They're still working with clients who drain their energy, clients who are not doing the work, they're not getting the results, and all of that undermines their confidence. They typically will end up losing passion for their business. They get to this place of real frustration because they know they should be doing better, but they're not, right? I will tell you that I recently signed a client who had reached out to me almost a year ago, all right? And then she decided to go it on her own, right? And then her business hit a brick wall. Now she's back. She just signed up with me, and she gladly invested at a higher price point because now my fees are higher than what they were a year ago, right? So you could go the same route, right? You could try to do it on your own, or you could skip all the trial and error. You can skip all the confusion and all that kind of stuff that typically happens when you try to do it by yourself, and you can choose option 2. So your mission, should you choose to accept, because the power is always yours, right? It's to claim your free, double your fees, and land dream clients breakthrough session with me. Okay? That's your second option. So you should know that I don't just let anybody in. And frankly, not everyone is going to qualify for this life-changing session. I mean, that's the reality of it, right? Not everybody qualifies. But if you do, if you have what it takes, I am going to show you how to make money as big as your purpose while serving clients who inspire you and are also inspired by you. let me tell you something. Like when you talk about fulfillment, nothing lights me up more than getting on the phone with my clients or receiving an email from my clients, because they're awesome. They're powerhouses. They're rock stars. But it wasn't always like this for me, right? There was a time when I would cringe if a certain client sent me a private message or it was time to get on the phone with them. And I'm sad to say that that's how it was, but that is how it used to be. Right? Because I was at a point where I was sometimes signing clients just to have money come in. I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is, right? So things are wildly different for me now. It's wildly different for my clients because many of them have also started working with brand new people who light them up. And so I know how powerful that kind of shift can be, right? So if you qualify, here's what you're going to walk away with. You're going to walk away with clarity on exactly what you could sell and deliver for either $3,000 to $25,000, right? So if you're not sure, if you're like, this sounds great, but I still don't know what I could, sell at those price points, I'm going to share with you exactly what that could be for you, okay? You're also going to walk away with a business model that's aligned with your desired lifestyle. So remember what I said before, you need to make sure that your business model is going to, allow you to live the life that you want to be living. Right? Be able to serve your clients, but also be able to live the life that you want to live, right? Be able to have the freedom to spend with your family or just to do things for yourself, right? To travel or whatever else it is that you desire to do, and also make the money that you want to make, right? If you want a second home, if you want a brand new car, if you want to move across country, whatever it is that you want to do, if you want to put your kids through private school, you want to take care of aging parents, you want to be able to have a business model that's going to generate the income while allowing you to live the life that you want to live, have the freedom that you want to have, right? Okay. And last but not least, you're going to walk away with the next best steps you could take to go from where you are to where you know you should be by now. Cool? So that's my offer to you. So how do you get a hold of this, right? You want to go to DesireeStafford.com/session and get yourself signed up. Now, here's the catch. There's always a catch. This is completely free, right? No cost to you, no obligation, but the sessions are limited. So if this is something that you know that you want, I would recommend that you get yourself over to my site and get yourself signed up, because I only have a couple of spots available, and when they're gone, they're gone. Okay. So how the process works is that you get yourself signed up, you answer a couple of questions, I will take a look at it. Okay. If I feel that I can help you, then you will get confirmation for the session, right? Because I don't want to waste your time and I don't want to waste my time. So I will only approve people that I actually think I can help, right? So if I feel like I can help you, you will get confirmation within 24 hours of submitting the application, and then we'll hop on the phone and then I'll share with you, what I know. Right? I'll take a look at what you've got going on. I'll let you know what you can sell at those higher price points, right? I'll also let you know how to design a business model that's going to work for you, it's going to serve you, as well as what those next steps are that you can take to get you to where you want to be. Cool? It's that simple. It's that straightforward. Okay? So I hope you have had, or I hope, let me put it this way. I hope you got the value that you came here to get, right? Because I love doing what I do. And I also love being able to reach people who are at a point in their business where you are, where you're feeling a little bit stuck, you're wanting more for yourself, you're still playing small and you don't know how to get yourself out of it, right? That's why I create the trainings that I create. That's why I do what I do, because I know what's possible for you when you make the decision to step out onto the other side. All right. So I need for you to understand, or what I want for you to understand, let's put it that way, that you always have the power, regardless of your circumstances, to change your situation. Right. I don't care if you've raised your fees 10 times before and then lowered them again. You can stop that shit. You can stop tolerating it, and you can double, triple, 10x your fees, right? And attract the most amazing clients ever. It is possible. I know, because I've done it and I've helped my clients do it too. Cool. So I hope you got tremendous value out of being here today. And then get yourself signed up if you have, and you're ready to take the next step. And until we speak again, I hope you're up to big, bold things in your life and in your business. Take care.